Hey guys, it's Jessica. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing, what am I doing? Today I'm going to be doing the Quarter Year Crisis book tag. I was thinking about doing some kind of a quarter year check-in on my reading, and then I saw this tag and I realized it would be perfect. So here we are, and let's go ahead and get started. Question number 1. How many books have you read so far? So I've read 33 books so far this year, which is fantastic. I'm recording this on April 5th, and I've had a really great year so far. 33 books, which puts me 7 books ahead of schedule according to Storygraph, because I set my goal at 100 books. So I feel really good about that. We'll see, we'll always see how the year's going to go and if I'm going to run into any roadblocks with my reading or anything like that. But so far, really pleased with that. Number 2, have you already found a book you think might be a 2025 favorite? So I'm going to talk about 3 books. And I know it doesn't say that, but I'm going to talk about 3 books because I can't choose. The first one is going to be A Drop of Corruption, which is the sequel to The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. And if you haven't read it yet, which you probably haven't because it's only been out for 4 days, it is so good. It is fantastic. It is better than the first book. I just loved it and wanted my time in the universe to be longer. I don't know how long that series is going to be. Is it going to be a trilogy? Is it going to be open-ended? Does anybody know? I don't even know if he said, but he could write those books forever, as far as I'm concerned. I love them. My second book is going to be The Keeper of Lonely Spirits by E.M. Anderson. I talked about this in my wrap-up for the end of last month. And it is a cozy horror story about a man who is cursed and who then has to kind of like roam the world and help other spirits find their final rest. And he keeps himself very separate from other people. And one day he meets someone who he might be able to fall in love with. And it's very sweet and cozy. There are ghosts, but I didn't find them to be particularly scary. I just thought for a cozy book, this one hit me really hard. I loved it so much. I don't see anybody reading it, so you need to read it. And then the last one I have is very different from cozy. That is Where the Axe is Buried by Ray Naylor. And I also read that one in my recent vlog, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it here. I actually think that this book has shot itself up to the top of my list. I think it's probably my favorite thing I've read so far this year. I don't know if I was just in the mood for bleak dystopian fiction. It's a very much a 1984 Fahrenheit 451. It's kind of in that vein of those 20th century dystopian stories about totalitarian, authoritarian governments and about kind of like the will of the people to continue to resist and how they are and aren't able to do that. It's fantastic. I recommend it so highly. If you have any feelings at all about books like that, I think that you would really, really enjoy it. And I don't know, it was just great. So those are my books for that question. And then we have question 3, any 1-star books or least favorite books of the year? Yes. I actually don't have that many books that I really didn't like this year. I have some that were disappointing, but I'm not going to talk about those. I'm just going to talk about the one that I absolutely hated. And sorry. And that is The Stars Too Fondly by Emily Hamilton. I read this for a book club. It's a sci-fi romance. It's supposed to be kind of in the style of a Becky Chambers kind of sci-fi, cozy romance kind of thing, like the Long Way to a Small Angry Planet books, and I hated this. I hated it. The main character was insufferable. There were a lot of ethical AI problems that I didn't feel like the author was interested in addressing. The science was nonsense. It was just not for me. I gave it 1 star, and it was unfortunately the first book that I read this year, which was not a great way to start. But things, you can look at it like there's only one way to go. That's not true. But luckily, it went that way, and we went up. So don't read that one. Number 4, most read genre so far. So I have read 14 fantasies, 11 sci-fi, 5 mysteries, and 4 literary fiction. And there's obviously a little bit of overlap in those numbers because some books have more than one genre, but that's kind of about what I would expect. I usually read a little bit more fantasy than sci-fi and about the same amount of mystery and literary fiction. Those are my big categories. I haven't read any romances this year. I have one on my TBR for April, and I'm hoping to read it, but I can't make y'all any guarantees. I've not been in the mood for cozy, fluffy romance I aspire to be, but that has not been where I am. Number 5, a book that surprised you. So I'm going to talk about one from last month again, and I'm going to talk about Murder by Memory by Olivia Waite. So this is a sci-fi mystery. It's very much described as kind of an Agatha Christie, Miss Marple kind of story, although I don't think that the main character is that much like Miss Marple. It's a novella. It's very short. I can't talk about it much or I'm going to spoil it accidentally, and I don't want to do that because I think you should read it, especially if you like fantasies and you like mysteries. Fantasies. I keep saying fantasy. If you like sci-fi and you like mysteries, I just thought it was adorable. I enjoyed the mystery. It is set on a generation ship, and I am a sucker for a generation ship story. I will read anything that is set on a generation ship. It is just my favorite. Book that came out in 2025 already that you want to read but haven't yet. I read a lot of new releases, so I've read most of the ones that I want to read, but I do still want to get to Death of the Author by Nnedi Okorafor. I haven't read anything by this author. My partner Sean just read the Binti trilogy, all of it, and loved it. And I'm really interested in this one, which I think has kind of a format of a book within a book, and I think that sounds great. So I'm excited to get to that at some point, but it's not quite at the top of my list, so it's probably going to be a little while. Number 7. One goal you've made that you're succeeding at. I made a lot of goals this year for my reading and my channel. The one that I'm succeeding at that I'm so proud of myself for is committing to doing 2 videos a week. And except for the week I had food poisoning, I have managed to do 2 videos a week, and I am really proud of that. That's an accomplishment for me. I've had to get much more organized, but I feel like I've been really happy with that. Number 8, one goal you made that you need to focus on. Okay, so this is my shameful part. I said, and I was like, I am setting this goal too low. You need to try harder. And I said I was going to read 6 nonfiction books in the year 2025. And I was like, I'm going to blow right through that. I have read 0. I have read 0 nonfiction. I do have 1 on my TBR for this month. So hopefully I'm actually going to read it. But if I'm going to complete that goal, I have a lot of catching up to do. And nonfiction is sometimes a struggle for me to motivate myself to read. Fiction, you get through quickly because you're like, oh, what's going to go on? And nonfiction, it doesn't usually feel that way for me. So if you have any hot nonfiction books that you've read recently that you would recommend, leave them down in the comments for me because I need to get out of my nonfiction slump. I am embarrassed by the fact that I have not read any this year so far. Number 9, name 3 new to you booktubers, bookstagrammers, booktokers for 2025 that you recommend. So I don't exactly know when I started following people. I'm not that organized. So I'm just going to give you 3 channel names. I'm going to link them down below. You should check them all out. They are all worth watching, great channels who are fairly new to me. I'm going to give you Kevin Towle Reads. Then we have Read and Reread and Snacks and Stacks, which is very fun to say, isn't it? I love that channel name. Snacks and Stacks. So fun. So you should check all of them out and give their channels a little bit of love. And with that, I have finished the whole tag. I am going to leave this open so that if you are interested in talking about your quarter year of reading, you can consider yourself tagged. Please do this. It was so fun, and I didn't have to think too hard or make any fun graphics for it. So I hope that you all have a fantastic day. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.